between the
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Well, race is underway.
Yeah. Looks like we've got a bit of syncing up to do.
Yep. We'll get those streams synced up in just a second. What do you say? I'm not your uncle?
I am your real uncle.
He should, Vitor should add in a line of text that, that's like the line from Spaceballs. It's like, I'm your uncle's third cousin's fiance or something, whatever Dark Helmet says.
Wow. Alright, so it's not a piece of heart this time that's in the first chest. I swear, every single seed that I do recently, or at least both of my seeds in the tournament have been a piece of heart. So, you know, it's 20 rupees this time, so nothing too flashy. But the funniest one is when... Oh, go on.
One of the patterns I seem to notice is every time I commentate, Misery Meyer has a pendant.
Right, okay. We'll have to see if that maintains here then. Ooh, nice first item. Okay, so in version 6, it was possible, if you got the cape this early, it was possible to actually just go straight to Ago 1. And that's no longer possible because it does kind of break the game a little bit. It's possible that you get locked out of the Lumberjack item if you do so, because it ends up creating this weird state where the Lumberjacks are still cutting the tree down even though you cleared Ago 1.
Right, because it doesn't know how to get from the rain state to Aghanim cleared, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, the other thing is interesting, I think, did zer0rush kill a lot of the enemies there? It didn't look like he did. You'd think that you'd want to kill those guards, or most of those guards on the way up, just so you could try and farm for bombs, but...
Yep. In this version, enemies might drop bombs in the escape, so I think they're two different... Are they the same price pack, or this separate price packs between the guards and the snakes and mice?
From what Andy was telling me, green and blue are the same price pack, but the rats and the snakes are different price packs from each other and from the guards. So you've got three different enemy types you can get stuff from.
Okay, yeah. So you not only want to kill everything, but you also want to make sure to kill a variety of things because you don't know which price pack is going to contain the bombs. I guess that's why it's so unlikely not to get bombs.
Yeah.
But it is possible. I mean, in vanilla, you cannot get a bomb, but that will unlock 3 chests on the way out of the Hyrule Castle for these guys that they would otherwise need a glove to come back and grab.
Should be noted that unless you get bombs in or Pegasus boots in the chest in Escape, that is technically breaking the logic, because it isn't possible to for the logic to sort of soft lock you out just because you didn't get an RNG bomb drop. So it's kind of like Fate Flippers in that sense, where it is obviously really nice and really easy to sort out, but most of the time it's the reason there isn't quite so much stuff in there, I guess, is just because it's, you know, not required to do it as you're escaping the
early
castle.
map from Princess Zelda's chest means that every other chest in here will have an item. They have the key chest as well, so every single other chest in Escape, including the Sanctuary, will have an item for them.
Yep.
And on that note, I think even if the game gives you boots or bombs, I'm pretty sure it's programmed so that it can't soft lock you. At least on this skill level, the randomizer settings, they assume that you're gonna make every possible worst decision and try to soft lock yourself and prevent you from doing it.
Yeah,
that includes key placement in dungeons too.
Yeah, it's part of the robustness of the code. To be honest, it's really well done, definitely.
Yeah, and if you see what we call plandos, that's kind of a portmanteau of planned randomizer. Planned rando. I've actually played a couple where I noticed possible soft locks, especially in Palace of Darkness, because there's so many small key chests in that one.
Yeah.
And it's hard to place them in such a way that it's impossible to soft lock.
So neither player has the bombs yet. That is potentially important. It is also important to note that even if you get bombs out of the chest next to the priest, you cannot then go back down to get the items. Even if you got a bomb off of a rat at the top after you climb that staircase, you can't go back down at that stage. The push blocks reset, so you then need the power go. There's the bomb drop. So zer0rush has definitely got one.
There we go. And don't even think about using the mirror to erase the block either, because that'll just
No, the mirror. It's really cool if you get the mirror before getting to Zelda, but other than that.
But the mirror actually, in Hyrule Castle, the mirror actually will teleport you to the entrance, just like a dungeon.
Yep. Even if you are all the way through Sanctuary at that time. Yeah, don't forget the 20 rupees there. You do need at least 100 before, well, at least 50 really before going towards Kakariko, because there's plenty of 5 rupees that you can get in the bomb houses, like in the well and in Blind's place. Yeah, absolutely do not forget that. Looks like Chrouya's not going to get a bomb drop here, which is unfortunate.
Well, it's
Oh, then again, I lied. Apparently there's a bomb drop.
Yeah, it's not gonna find anything in there anyway, but it'll save him from having to come back and check later.
Yeah. Didn't look like there was... Yeah, I mean the money's quite good though, because if you needed to buy more bombs, which I mean zer0rush might consider it, because you need what, 4 bombs at most, 3 to 4 bombs in Kakariko. So, and then you need 2 bombs if you're going to check the ice cave as well as the model one. It's possible that you would buy some at that point if you don't get any more out of the drops. Also, nice tank heart out of the tank. Might not be the sanctuary one, it might be boss heart, but still. Nice OG
heart container there. They're at full health. There is actually a sand cart mixed in with the boss hearts, which will refill your health, but if the players have full health when they pick it up, we can't tell.
Yeah, because the idea behind that is that it gives a to when you basically as if you've defeated the boss when you leave that first dungeon per se. So just small magic out of the blue rupee reward here. The tree pulls and any other pull object actually, there's 3 distinct prizes that you can get off of them, and it depends on how many enemies you've killed since the last tree pull and whether or not you've taken damage for the 2 higher tiers. So looks like Chrouya is just completely ignoring the tree pulls, which is perfectly fine. They've already got full magic, 10 bombs, now max capacity at the moment. Nothing really to, to get from them. You could get arrows, but no bows, so it doesn't really seem that worth it right now. The only thing is you
heart and a lumberjack item there, so
yeah, that's helpful maybe, but Aghanim's usually required anyway a lot of the time. So yeah, the other thing I guess is nice blue man. The other thing is you might get 20 rupees out of the pull trees. I have seen it before, so not taking that 20 though. I think even this early in, just green rupees off the green pull. Even this early in, I would probably still take that 20 because you never know. Farming might be required, and
I typically even like to pick up all the pots that have blue rupees. Down just in case I don't find enough rupees for Zora.
I do that as well. Because the worst thing that can happen in the end is that you have to farm rupees and you find, oh, I only have like 50 and I need to go back to Blind's house and get 400 rupees, and it takes like several minutes to do. It is so irritating.
Yeah, but the good thing is you can actually, if the randomizer is sending you to Zora, it either has to give you a glove or flippers. So if you have that glove, you can go ahead and go to the optimal farming spot right outside of the desert.
Yeah, there's been a few times where I've not seen the glove before having to get Zora stuff though.
Right, because it could be possible to get there with flippers using the portal instead.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a shield already for these players. A luxury that doesn't always come up for us. Yeah.
And the small shield is surprisingly useful because you can block arrows and such with it. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, sword upgrade already and a cape. I wonder if we gotta go to Aghanim.
Looks like we're going in regular progression mode here. You know, we've had the blue mail, we've had the blue sword, we've had the blue shield. Everything's going up in that one stage at the moment, and the flute as well. That's super good. That is the absolute perfect place to get that, because you are right next to the bird statue, so you can immediately get the duck here. Nice to see that the sewing kit is on its premium offer at the moment.
Sewing kit?
Yeah, because it's a single arrow. You can poke it through the fabric and such.
Yeah, if they need some thread, you get a string off of one of the pendants and sew it there.
Yeah, that's true. And then you could use, get a Deku stick or something from Ocarina of Time, and you've got yourself a big bow. Nice glitter chicken there through the wall.
So you're telling the players to use their only arrow and bend it into the form of a bow. Then what are they gonna shoot with it?
I mean, bomb arrows exist, don't they? So
Bomb arrows in Link's Awakening, maybe, and Wind Waker, but mostly Link's Awakening. You know, I didn't know Link's Awakening had bomb arrows when I was a kid at first. My friend told me. Back when the only way to find secrets in games was for like your friend to tell you during recess.
Yeah.
Look it up online. And there's that one piece of heart north of Animal Village which intends for you to use a bomb arrow because there's like a 4-space wide gap. And you're supposed to use a bomb arrow to break a cracked block on the other end of the pit. But it's actually possible, and this is the way I did it without knowing about bomb arrows. You can actually do a Pegasus, like start dashing with the Pegasus boots, and then jump right at the ledge, and then drop a bomb so that it sticks on the end right as you fall in the hole.
That's pretty neat. So it looks like zer0rush kind of got away with it here because they just went into that, went into that without even checking what a mushroom, what the item was. So
yeah, zer0rush, YOLO paying off. I mean, the mushroom may or may not be important, but the fact that Chrouya went to check it and is coming back for it means that zer0rush gained some time over him over that.
So having looked at the discussion in the Randomizer Discord yesterday and seeing a little bit of the way that the bias of this stuff works, I would probably immediately go with Flute to put that mushroom in now, because it's more likely that that mushroom is hiding a progression item than it is for locations that you catch just at the start without any item dependencies at all. So
yeah, the Flute's really convenient. There's some.
Oh, that moon pearl though.
The Flute is nice that it actually drops you right off at the witch's hut spot.
Yeah.
So
That's the reason I would do it. Like, if I didn't have the Flute at this point, I would still just get it on the way back. But because it is an item that unlocks another item, there's more chance of it, in this early game at the very least, there's more chance of it having something good behind it. So
yeah, I would say it's definitely more likely that the mushroom is important in this seed than in a seed where you get the mushroom later on. I don't know if it's necessarily more important than checking a cluster of 7 items though.
Well, you can just flute back to that after. So I mean, if that place has the power, I'd say power glow. Obviously, its flute kind of nullifies that at the moment. If it had the mirror, say, then you could do Death Mountain stuff super early.
Yeah,
that could also be important.
They can get to the west side of Death Mountain with Flute anyway.
Yeah. But with the mirror, you could then also get to Tower Hera and check the Spectacle Rock item.
I don't know if we've had a map check yet, so...
No, we have not. So you can see just how good early Flute is here for optimizing.
Yeah, Chrouya deciding to walk 10 feet instead of Flute there.
Yeah, I mean... You do already have the bombs out, so I guess you could say save the menu and stuff, but it is still a bit slower, I think. All of this works too. Fake flippers, very nice.
He'll get to check one item and then grab the Link's friend under the bridge item.
Oh, a Beator on the bridge there, on the lake there. That's kind of cool.
Beator.
Well, that's what it seems to be Yes, Chrouya did get mushroom and
Yep,
The
both
king.
players got the mushroom. I didn't see them get burner.
yeah, there was the blue cane was picked up. Kakariko.
And a fire rod.
Oh, that's good. My favorite weapon. So, nice little potential sequence break there. You do have to save quit out of that. I think there is a way of getting glitch again out of the transition, but I have no idea how you'd position it, and I've seen it lead to kind of crazy soft locky stuff, so not so cool. So just save quit out of it.
Again, the randomizer logic never requires fake flippers on easy, which is the mode that we're doing. So the fire rod will kind of put them a step ahead of the logic. Now, that might actually mean that they won't have an item that they should have by the time they use that fire rod. And we got the mushroom. Now, what do you say? I'm thinking a bottle.
Well, it's not Titan's Mint, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's the other one though. So I kind of mentioned if it was the power glove, and then thinking, oh wait, they've got flute though. But that's pretty great.
Hopefully that doesn't deter zer0rush from. Okay, he's gonna end up with the Titan's Mint too.
So 10 hours on there, and we are gonna see a check of the cave before going in. That's pretty good. Just a piece of heart. All right, so Titan's Mint and Moon Pearl. Village of Outcasts is the obvious place to go. You don't actually need to worry about the logic being broken here because, you know, got Moon Pearl and Titan's Mint without really any issues there because, you know, no items were needed to get to the race or the Moldon Cave. So this is most likely where we're going for in terms of where the seed wants you to go. And yeah, less than 17 minutes in and we're already doing Dark World exploration.
Yeah, and still don't know where the pendants and crystals are, as far as I
This is true, neither of them have checked.
Yeah, so in order to get to that juicy east side of Death Mountain, the runners will either need to grab Hookshot now, or they'll need to get Mirror plus Hammer. Now, the fortunate thing is that they've got Titan's Mint and Moon Pearl, so when they do get to the east side, they'll be able to check most of the Light and Dark World chests. All of them if they have Hookshot as well.
I think Hookshot was the library item. I know it seemed like there was something good on there, but I didn't quite catch what it was. But I think that's where the Hookshot ended up being. So I need Pegasus boots before getting to there. As my curse to see house only has a green rupee this time. That's pretty good, I suppose.
If that's the case with the Hookshot, then it would be really trolly to put the boots in the Mimic Cave.
Okay, I'm getting confirmed in the chat. Yeah, it was the library one. So, oh, zer0rush going in a less ideal spot for rupee farming here, and both not realizing that the desert is available, or the outskirts of the desert's available for that, and that there is actually a glitch that you can use in as Chrouya used in the chest game that you can access with the items you have at the moment, and that does let you go ahead and get 100 rupees every time you go back into the chess game. So plus 70 at minimum. Depends if you get any rupees in the first one too.
Yeah,
but
I think that zer0rush wanted to check the ice cave though, so that's why he decided to go that way.
Yeah, possibly. Also, wasn't really too many rupees he needed to get. It just means we won't be able to get the chess game as it's going in. And we see a quick map thing there. I didn't catch much off of that.
I thought that was the flute. Or did he push X?
No, I saw a pendant, and I think Crystal 5. So I think Easton was Crystal 5, Hera was red, and I didn't see what Desert Palace was. Yeah, not all know of the chess game thing. That is very true. I did make sure to mention that in the guide that I did for this, but I also made sure to say on Card Castle Quest that it is a glitch and it will be fixed in the next version. Thankfully, flippers are not required to get a good item off the ledge this time, so it's kind of good. I didn't catch what Chrouya got off of the...
That's a blue rupee from Old
just
Stumpy.
a blue rupee. Oh,
Yeah.
too bad.
He's gonna go ahead and check out the Hype Cave north of the Dark World Swamp. Or
Yep. So, every single race I've seen and been in recent times has had at least one good item in this cave.
Is he gonna...
Oh, that's a pretty good
Oh,
drop
wow.
off it.
Your face for sale.
Yeah, that's a really big plus before going into the Dark World, because now, as the Sanctuary would be the logical place to go, now you can do a whole lot of stuff within Dark World. And
The boots.
Hype Cave living up to the hype.
Alright, so if I'm Chrouya right now, I'm grabbing that hookshot and going straight to Death Mountain. But unfortunately, he will not find the mirror there.
Yeah. Still, even without the mirror, you can get everything except the island item that you have to go through the Hookshot Cave for. So
the big thing though without mirror is he'll have to remember to get all the Light World chests he wants to get, and then go into the Dark World. You won't be able to switch back and forth.
Yeah.
He's gonna check King's Tomb first.
Yeah, it's a very good idea, because this and the Sanctuary Rubble Pile, nice, actually decent save quit there too. These are very common places to forget, because there's no convenient warp point to here, and a lot of the time you don't, at least not until very late game, you don't end up checking the north side of the graveyard in the Dark World. And even then, you might not have mirror when you're checking that, so going around the area. So definitely pick these up.
Well, you have to have
you
mirror if you're getting the cliff
If
item.
you're gonna check that, sure, but you know, there are times where you don't actually have mirror when you're going in that general direction.
Yeah.
Mostly because Catfish is easier to reach from that side.
Right, if you're not killing Ganon.
So
Oh, nice.
yep, as you were mentioning, straight in to get the hookshot. There's always a very helpful part of the information scouting that you do within these runs is to check as many of the overworld visible items as you can.
Did I click hammer? One of us clicked hammer.
Oh well.
Oops.
I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Alright, he's gonna go ahead and find himself the power glove.
Ooh, Ether, that's pretty cool.
Might be. There's a 55% chance. If both 6 and 7 are crystals, that it's cool.
Hey, technically it's cool anyway because it creates ice, but you know.
Alright,
so as you said,
we're both pendants actually. Wow, so either not necessary at all.
Unless
there's an important item.
Yes, if Sasha has an item, then or as I usually call him, Shahabadu. If Saharaslah has an item, then
Shahabadu.
I don't know why. I think it's just a Flintstones thing of the Yabba Dabba Doo thing. It just, yeah.
It's actually, I think, a Simpsons thing.
Is there a Simpsons thing?
Homer goes to the bar and he's asking Mo for advice, and he's like, "I got this friend. His name's Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo." Yes.
Nice. I did not know that. So, okay. That's pretty cool.
Alright, so zer0rush went into the Hype Cave, so he's got the boot. That off. Got it. Okay, you got it.
So where is he going now? That is the question. Oh, nice use of the fire rod there. That's pretty cool.
I'm not sure that he's already done the digging game, I believe, and Old Stumpy. Oh, he does have the mirror at this point, so
yeah. Doesn't look like there was much in the Death Mountain stuff here. Unless I just missed something in the first two chests. There was a whole bunch of money and not a lot else. Yes,
yeah, but they got he's still got all the Dark World chests to find.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice.
And there is
The bomb
Spiral
jump.
Cave.
I want to learn this bomb jump.
It's actually not too bad. You just link over this so that you're completely covering that bottom corner tile and just place a bomb. You don't need to move or anything. Looks like just 20 rupees on the island, so everything relevant here, Chrouya will be able to get even without the mirror. Yep, it's always important when you're doing this cave, especially if you do have the hookshot, to make sure to check whether the beery guys are flashing first, because no matter what sword level you've got, you cannot run through those. So
Yep.
do make sure to be careful.
Hookshot, of course, will kill them
the hookshot
whether
cheats.
they're electrified or not.
I have no
Yeah,
idea
cheating.
why, but it
Yeah, I
is
don't
cheating.
really understand that either. Like, the hookshot isn't made of metal. Maybe the
No.
handle's plastic, I don't know.
But the hammer, we've seen the grinding now for zer0rush.
That's the new key
no!
getting
Oh, I hate these guys so much. But like the hammer does electrify you if you.
Oh yeah, and the hammer doesn't look like
It's
metal. In
not even consistent of it's just a sword thing. No, it's the hammer does as well. It's like, what?
Well, it's kind of consistent because the hammer is basically treated like the tempered sword.
I guess, but still seems kind of weak. Oh, didn't quite get the timing for the clip there. It's a really neat little clip, that. I think I saw it once on a Christos race, and then I was just like, "That is really cool. I should try."
Yeah, I've seen it too. I couldn't figure out how it worked. I usually, Chrouya doesn't have mirror, but I usually go for the.
Yeah, the reason I don't is just to save menu, because like, it doesn't matter when I'm coming up here. If I'm coming up here for the end of the game, then I want hookshot out at the start of GT. If I'm coming here earlier on, like Chrouya is just now, then I want hookshot out for the cave. So
Yeah, true. Yeah, so the big advantage zer0rush has right now is having a mirror, so after he checks out all the Death Mountain items, he can go straight to Hera without a save and quit.
yeah. And with the fire rod, there is the capability of doing everything, even if the basement is required.
Yep. So that actually might really help them out. Oh, he's forgetting to open these chests.
Slight mistake in where
He could have actually bonked over there from the skull on the left rather than fall down the hole, but
that's true. Nothing there at all, though. Death Mountain has been disappointing this time.
yeah.
With no hammer, there's no way of checking the spike cave right now, so just having to save quit out.
The only saving grace Chrouya might have about not having the mirror right now is when he heads back up there with mirror, he might also have the book and be able to check ether.
Hype cave was Pegasus boots, so pretty hype. So not actually going to check the stuff in Maya here. It's an interesting choice to loot here. I suppose if you're gonna check the cave first and then go into Maya afterwards is not too bad.
Yeah, he's still got the flute on, so he can fly right over back to 6 and take the portal in the mire. He also won't be able to check the item in the northeast corner without the mirror.
Yes, so zer0rush definitely has a big edge here if he decides to do the same general routing here.
100 rupees from a Genus cave. Chrouya, rupees burning a hole in his pocket. I wonder if there's something he can spend them on.
Yeah, curious.
Maybe he's going for 1337 rupees, but he already overshot it.
That's okay, just buy some bombs and then get 4 rupees and you're done.
And he is going in the mire, only going to be able to check the 2 items on the left, and then see what medallion's required to get the pendant.
It is ether.
It's just the one medallion we've seen so far.
Yes, that's convenient. Wow, nice. Getting the dash through there too. I've only ever done that once. It's half magic's pretty
nice,
good.
nice item. Half magic. I'm not sure It almost looked like he used iframes from jumping in the water to dash through them. Is it a timing thing or a random thing? Because once in a while I'll be able to dash through those two
I think it's
little sparkies.
There are a couple of frames for at least. Whoa, whoops.
zer0rush having his own troubles with Hookshot Cave.
There's at least one. There's at least 1 or 2 frames at when you enter, I think, that you can get the dash off properly. But there may have been some iframe stuff there. I'd be surprised though, because I don't think they last long enough. Oops.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oops.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately.
Okay, he's finally gonna go ahead and grab the mirror item or the Zora item.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the iframes you get from jumping in the water are shorter than when you get hit.
Oops.
But they're long enough to get past that Zora. Of course, if you just walk up the water, you walk past him before he spawns anyway.
Yeah, that's true. It can be a little bit tricky to navigate around this place just because you're always a little bit unsure about where the corners are. It's very easy to just move a little bit too far.
Interesting. zer0rush is gonna go check out the items north of town, and you know, since the game gave him cape fairly early, maybe, just maybe, the bumper cave will yield some nice treasure. Gotta watch out for those murder
They do
dazzles.
so much damage, it's unreal. Just 20 rupees this time.
I almost.
Oh, that was a bad
boy.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost
saw that coming.
Yeah, I almost just want to go on the left side of that screen every time just to avoid them, or equip cape to run past them.
I think I do go on the left. I mean, it depends exactly where I'm coming from, but most of the time, unless I have had to hookshot across to the graveyard, I will definitely go up the left-hand side there, just because you're already in that direction, and it's easier to get a straight line dash up there as well. So I think it is a bit quicker to go on the left-hand side.
Yeah, once you die to those guys once, I think you learn. Huh, maybe I should not mess with them. That's always weird to me how the critters deal more damage in this game than trained knights with swords, shields, and full plate armor.
Yeah, right.
Like blue guard charging you with a longsword, no problem, 1 heart of damage.
Small crab on the outskirts of the beach, 2 hearts of damage. Like what? So early Skull Woods here, not a bad play. It's a quick dungeon, and they've got the fire rod, and it is required, right? So
yeah, I see runners do this. They go into the north room first, and not even open the chests in the center room in Skull Woods here. I don't really understand the logic behind that.
Okay, so the idea is if you've got Pegasus boots, you can do that straight dash down. I don't quite understand why you would go this way around afterwards, but
this room is guaranteed to have a key in it.
Yeah, the logic behind getting that top chest first though is if you've got Pegasus boots, you can do a straight line dash down, so you're dashing for longer, going both up and down than you would be if you got that chest first. And since the chests aren't guaranteed to have a small key, you might have to come back down anyway. So
I'm gonna set up a cool bomb jump here.
It's really cool seeing that
way.
Yeah.
I usually see it with the dash because the dash gives you a larger number of frames.
Yeah, you've got about 6 pixels away from what I was told, about 6 pixels away from the gap that you can be because you go further after getting hit by the bomb. But within 2 pixels of the gap, you can do the regular thing with it too. So I've never tried to learn it that way, but clearly it works. So here's the annoying thing: if you don't have Cane of Samaria, then you have to do this the vanilla way.
The intended way.
Yeah. Which is kind of irritating because you are moving a bit slower when you're pulling instead of pushing. So if you just keep pulling like that, and you just put exactly as I was describing this. If you're pushing,
you'll be taken to his final destination.
Yeah, if you're pushing the statue, then you don't actually get caught by him, even if you just continually, keep pushing it as he's coming down. But pulling it, you don't move as fast, so you do actually get caught, and it's really annoying. You know, mistakes were made. Another thing, oh, there's the other item for the dungeon, so nothing else in here. The other thing is slightly lesser known. Especially if you're going to clear the dungeon just now, that bombable wall in the big key chest room there actually has a pot with full magic behind it. So if you're running short on magic here, ooh, getting grabbed again.
Not like this.
If you're running short on magic, then it is actually a good idea to get that, especially before going to the second half of the dungeon, because you need at least 3 fire round shots, and with the way the prize pools were randomized, you're not guaranteed to get magic. Well, you've got much less chance of getting magic off of Gyptos now. Even if you freeze them and then use the hammer on them, that is still a different prize pool.
Is that a prize pack that was actually thrown into the pool to freeze?
It appears to be, because I've never had magic off of anything anymore when
that's interesting. I didn't realize that was a separate prize pack, but I guess it kind of makes sense.
It's a separate prize pack because I think there is actually a hint for it in the vanilla game where somebody does tell you if you hammer a frozen enemy, then you've got a really high chance of getting magic off them. So
yeah, and that's actually used in one-hit KO. It's a strategy for getting through the gauntlet.
So
use ether to freeze everything and hammer and get magic really back to use ether.
Yeah. Ether is really cool. It's just it can lag the game quite a bit with the freezing aspects. Just because every enemy's still on the screen and they're all sparkly now
Yeah, and try that in Gauntlet when you have 2 Beamos running around on conveyor belts at the same time.
Yeah. I have words for those Beamos. Speaking of words, though, we also have words for Mothra here, so hopefully this goes relatively well.
That's not Mothra, it's a completely original enemy. Mothula.
Yeah. Mothula. OC Moth, do not steal.
Yeah.
I suppose that's why it's immune to spikes. I guess that's why it's immune to damage when it's under the spikes then, because it's its own original character.
Yeah, it's a distinguisher.
Freaking Sonic the
From the copyrighted one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Very good fight.
Oh yeah. While we were goofing off here, just destroying OC Mothra.
Gonna have to remember that for me to stuff that. Oh dear.
Alright, no books, so we can't check the Master Sword pedestal here.
Nope, but it is still...
Let's go, where are we going next?
Still more convenient to...
We'll need hammer.
Mothula, give it the compass so that you can find Mothula. Exactly. Makes perfect sense.
I want there to be a boss named Patra and have him randomly drop the map. I always thought Patra was like a really cool enemy.
No, the last chest wasn't required because there were 50 rupees and the Quaint medallion. There's only 2 items in Skullwoods, so if the players have been counting properly...
did zer0rush grab Quake?
I don't actually know if he did because I was too busy looking at
Yes, he did.
Stuff.
Okay, he just paused.
Okay. Neat.
I was thinking I want him to pause so we can see what he's got, but I thought he would probably keep Fire Rod on for a while.
So here's the rough thing now. It is possible with his amount of magic that he can still do this, but he needs to realize that, like, both of these torches in one shot.
He needs
no,
50%.
he had... No,
you can
you can do it with 3 shots.
Oh,
yeah,
you can do the middle. Oh, that's a good strat.
But unfortunately, it looks like he hasn't realized that, so I think he's going to maybe go and... he hasn't gone to the tree with the magic. You know, the one that's above the teleporter there.
Oh, what he's planning. He's got to... Maybe he can get a green potion off of... I didn't get that bottle yet. Fortunately, though, he'll be able to go back to that portal and won't have to do all of Skullwoods again. He can just walk up to the portal.
So
looks like he's gonna... Oh, never mind.
The tree above the hammer pegs there, maybe he is gonna... Oh no, okay.
But now
So
you
you
won't be
could
able
have
to use
just...
the portal.
Could have just
Yeah.
mirrored it from there, but basically that tree, if you bonk it, the one that's above the hammer pegs on Chrouya's side there, that has a full magic decanter in it. So...
Does it before you fight Aghanim though? Or is it
it's
apples?
consistent. It's consistent, and the whole time. Like that's one tree that doesn't change.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the pull trees that change mostly, but even then,
There's the tree south in Kakriko Village in Vanilla. It'll drop apples if you bonk into it, but then after you fight Aghanim, it drops bees.
Oh, because of course it drops bees.
Like the lag bees.
Fair enough.
That's the way you're supposed to go through this dungeon. That makes more sense actually.
Yeah, I've started doing that recently. I'm not sure if exactly which way's faster, but that's the way I always see it done in Magic Glitches runs, so I'm assuming with the Pegasus boots that's faster.
Alright, Chrouya just reunited the Hammer Brothers, and we'll see what he's rewarded with.
Fake hearts. It's a counterfeit currency there. However, the lamp was picked up in Easttown there, so that's pretty good. Gotta watch the health though.
Yeah, no bottles yet for either of these players. We did see one on Lake Hylia Island, but none of the runners have picked one up yet.
Interesting.
Oh, you can't pick that chest back up. He was turning around to get the tree boost, it looked like.
Yeah, he did get the dash successfully.
I always like this run with the purple chest where you just hook shot to everything and then
it is pretty
check
cool.
everything.
And yeah, Chrouya didn't have the mirror when coming before, so he's going for a little bit of a more effective route here by checking some of the places he has not previously checked because he went through this area. Yeah.
Being careful not to leave the chests on top of the portal.
Yeah, we have seen that happen a couple of times in runs, and it's a mistake that you don't make more than once.
Yeah, you won't be able to get the Bombos tablet though, sadly.
No, that's true. That is the reason I figured that he was doing it this way.
Although, since he wasn't usually so normally if I'm doing this run, this will be the time that I check Old Stumpy in the Grove.
Yeah, okay.
And then on my way back south from the Grove, I'll get a tree boost off of that ascension tree on the north side, and he'll push me back down toward the opening that leads you to Swamp.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
ooh, there's a bossel.
Nice.
Potion too.
Might have actually been better for him to flute after grabbing the Grove item rather than take the mirror and walk back around. He should have fluted to 6 or 7 to
I was sort of thinking about that, but yeah, it definitely would have been better to use the flute there because no access to Bombos. If he had the Book of Medora, then sure, Bombos tablet would have been checkable, more effective.
Bombos tablet, you actually do have to walk down there from Village of Outcasts. I was going to check the checkerboard maze.
That's particularly important at the moment when no hammer is in play. Because you can't really access South Dark too easily without the hammer. It does take quite a while.
I'd say if the big chest in Thieves Town has an important item, and Chrouya waits to have hammer to go in there, then that might give him a little time back.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a good time advantage.
Did not see whether zer0rush has map or compass yet, so...
No, I've not been too much of that. Okay, so
he got one. So it's still 50-50 at this point. 50-50 at this point that there might be an item in the big chest.
There was an item in the big chest in my run yesterday, but it was only 5 rupees. And I know that because I went back for it afterwards. The pizza joke. So there are more jokes than what we've seen in these runs at the moment, but a lot of them are 2 text boxes, and for consistency's sake, Vitor has made it so that only one text box is shown in any blind joke. So there are ones like...
I thought the vacuum one had 2.
Well, from what he was telling me, he's made it online, so I don't know. Oh, red mail. Okay, that's cool.
I mean, I don't see a problem with having it be a red mail, so he will not have to go back to the big chest, as that will contain the map. So
Yeah,
for him,
it was just for consistency across all seeds. It's like removing that 5%
I mean,
where Pegasus boots are. It's the same sort of thing. Oh, shovel. Okay, so we've seen both items in Desert Palace then, because there was a heart container on the pillar where the small key is, and now the shovel.
Wait, did Chrouya get a crystal? Chrouya didn't get a crystal, did he?
I think he is about to. No, they got the one from Skullwoods.
Chrouya didn't finish Skullwoods. Or did zer0rush not finish
did.
Skullwoods? Okay, zer0rush didn't finish Skullwoods.
Yeah, zer0rush couldn't finish Skullwoods because he didn't have.
Yeah,
the,
Chrouya had the half magic, so he had
Yeah.
no problem. That's right. Once they pause, we'll make sure we got the right crystal number for him.
Yeah, that is something I'm really bad at, so sorry for anyone with OCD on
well,
that. I never pay attention
It's
to what
okay,
crystal
because
numbers are.
the chat's paying attention, so we can fix it. Save the run.
Run is secretly an animal. Do you save the run, or do you kill the run?
Aminals. Silly little monkey. So do you think that the Chozo based the power suit's ability to wall jump off of the Edicoons, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
that's an interesting question.
Compass from Snake Land Molas. Let's see. Put a temporary crystal up there for Chrouya until we figure out which one it is. One and two he's got, so I accidentally clicked the right one. Boss compass. My compass always points
Oh,
to
nice
the
gold!
Oh,
Nice.
gold guard!
I love seeing that glitch. I actually am not entirely sure what causes it, apart from just Flute having the Oh, nice bomb as well!
He's gonna pick that bomb up and throw it at the guard. Does he have shovel? I didn't.
Yes, he does. It was in Desert Palace.
Oh, there's. Oh, okay, you got it. Plus 5 arrows.
Yeah, I know it has something to do with fluting, and I think after just going from the Dark World and fluting, it seems to happen most, but it's always just hilarious to me. I believe it is. It's not something I've seen very often, just because it's not really too common a thing to show up fluting back there for it, but it does pop up. I'm pretty sure it does pop up in vanilla as well. Yeah, it looks like Hera is the consideration here, even though it is it's vanilla Pendant here. Which is fine, it's a relatively quick dungeon, and you do get 2 items out of there. It tends to have a reasonable chance of having something just because of the stipulations of getting up here. So this isn't a particularly bad play, I don't think.
Nah, I like to come up here. It's nicer to have book, but at this point, you know, you gotta check something, and you're not gonna have every item in the check every corner, no matter what direction you pick. Now, interestingly, who was it? I think zer0rush, whoever headed north from the village and checked the bumper cave item, looked like they might have been heading to check the ledge north of the grave. Oh, Chrouya or zer0rush did end up back up there.
Yeah.
I remember him in there. Okay.
Yep. So now we're going to see the Mire items once again. Only this time with block disappearing. Oh, the magical boomerang was there as well. Okay.
Red ring.
Did not even see that.
Yeah, Chrouya picked it up there with half magic.
Yeah, I just saw the half magic and then went to the tracker going, wait, where is this on the tracker again? And then, yeah, it's been taken out by the mushroom. So I was like, oh.
I mean,
So it's a neat little item tech if you've got the... It looks like he's noticed both items there. I didn't see what the other one was.
might have been worth finishing if that was the green pendant though.
No, it was red.
Okay.
Green is Maya itself. So, without the flippers and the hammer, there isn't really any way of getting to the not Death Mountain, the east side of Darkworld. So, taking a slightly scenic route round, but it looks like we are going to see Ganon killed after all, which sometimes happens. It's kind of unfortunate, but noting at the moment that because of where Fire Rod was, the logic is not expecting you to have that yet. So unless flippers have been somewhere that we've just missed, I reckon flippers are going to be on the pyramid then.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Because then that would lead to the Fire Rod. Secretly, I'd be hoping it would be a Catfish though, because that would be kind of funny. The fake
trying to rack my brain and think if there's anywhere else that Chrouya could have checked by now.
Thieves Town, I think, but because he doesn't have a lamp yet, so.
Well, I mean, any locations that either player hasn't checked.
Yeah, any unique stuff, I don't think so. Not that it's coming to mind anyway, so... So there's the shovel for Zero. He also didn't have to check the last chest in Desert, because just like Skull Woods, there are only 2 items in Desert Palace. One of them was the heart container that was on the torch, and the other one was the shovel that zer0rush has just picked up. Lumberjack was nothing good.
Piece of heart, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I always like having hookshot in these early dungeons.
It's so good.
Couple shortcuts. Were you the one that wrote the notes about using the hookshot in Eastern Palace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few really cool. It's mostly hookshot and Cane of Samaria that you can do some really neat things in dungeons that you wouldn't normally be able to do. Cane of Samaria is quite a good one to obviously holding down switches, but also in Palace of Darkness, that one crystal switch you'd have to chuck a bomb across to, you can use the Cane of Samaria to hit that. So,
it's
a fair bit faster.
Double hit. The dreaded double hit from the bomb to the crystal.
Yeah. So... Can Ice Palace be... yeah, Ice Palace... no, because the
Well, with fake flippers.
No, the hammer's needed.
Okay, right. It can be checked out, but...
Yeah.
There are 2 locations that require hammer, plus the boss. So 3 locations altogether.
And it is an absolute last resort to go to Ice Palace without the hammer. We've seen races do that. Not many, but we've seen 1 or 2 races do that, and it has only led to disappointment.
And it is another fake flipper situation for them at this point.
At the moment,
Alright, Crystal 2 going to zer0rush. And he'll find himself 1 compass richer.
Yeah, so fake flippers is where you screen transition on the same frame as you land in the water. So instead of going back up to land, you actually transition and you can swim. You get one shot by enemies because of the soft lock that would happen, so you get one shot if you get hit. But
I actually got sniped. Another cold card. I got sniped by the archer on top of the bridge when I was fake flippering check hobo. I didn't think he could shoot down there. How did he even see me?
Oh, it's a green potion. Okay, so...
Oh, the bottle kid hasn't been checked yet. Sick kid could very well have the flippers or hammer.
True. Did zer0rush check this sick kid? Because he's had a bottle for a while, but...
Remember. I don't remember either of them checking sick kid.
Slightly disappointing to not see the catfish being checked there. Because if he
he's got plenty of options
now...
to go from there. He's got catfish, he can take a peek into Palace of Darkness. Have the runners even gone into Eastern Palace?
Not that I know of. Sick kid with just a heart container. Ooh.
That's at least 2 items that they can find in there.
Yep.
Like you need the bow to finish, but you're guaranteed at least 2 items just by checking it out.
I don't even think they've checked Shabatu yet. So...
Yeah, maybe not. So those are all good options to check before even fighting Ganon.
Take that kid's heart. I mean, hi, how you doing?
Kalima.
Well, it looks like you're gonna get your wish of checking these. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so zer0rush going back to, especially with half magic now, going back to finish the dungeon he wasn't able to before.
Yep. So yeah, this is another situation in Eastern Palace here. The runners are reluctant to go in here without the bow, since you won't be able to finish it unless the bow is in here. Which it is in vanilla. But, you know, at this point, you're like, I gotta check something. Could find whether or not he can finish this. He'll be happy to have that for the rest of the run.
Can spread that on his enemies and watch them die of high cholesterol.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe this doesn't have a higher tier of damage from the spin attack.
There goes that hookshot strat for Eastern Palace, like you mentioned in your notepad.
Yep. This is why you don't skip chess. Yeah, actually, in the seed that I did, my race seed yesterday, Tinesmith was in here, and that was the necessary item for progression. So even though Bow was somewhere stupid like Desert Palace or something way out of the way and needed much later items, had to come in here fairly early. So.
Huh, use this green potion there.
I mean, it can be, especially with Master Sword still, it can be pretty difficult to take this guy on.
I'd take it back. I'm all for him using the green potion there, since he has half magic.
And loads and loads and loads of money, plus the flute, so recovering that potion won't be too problematic.
Yeah. But I usually want to save a magic refill for Ganon's tower.
Having a lot of trouble here.
What's Chrouya grabbed out of Eastern Palace here?
Brother Sword so far, that's the only one I saw. Was focusing a little bit more on that clutch of a fight there.
Yeah, wow, out of it with 1 heart.
And no magic left. Yeah, that would have been a bit of a heartbreak. Nail that after spending so much
here's
time getting back there.
Here's a situation where Cape is useful in an early dungeon. But he just decides to tank all the damage. Also useful. Yeah. It's also useful having 12 hearts.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So it doesn't finish. You can't go any further without the bow. I guess he must have checked the big chest also. So yeah, he'll need to grab the bow to go back to Eastern Palace. The Pendant dungeons, once again, are Tower of Hera, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock.
I'm gonna have to ask the chat again here. Did either of these guys check Saharaslah yet? I don't think they have, but that obviously would have been the ideal time to do it before going into Thieves Town here. I've been killed by that stupid ghost before, just seeing the hit taken there. I have actually been killed by that thing because I had like 2 hearts left and green mail when I was opening it, and it hit me as I was opening the thing. Seriously?
Alright, so Pendant 6, or Crystal 6 is in Ice Palace, Crystal 5 is in the Eastern Palace, I suppose.
Yeah, Crystal 5 was Eastern, I remember. They're on.
A green pendant in Misery Mire. Oh, what if they've got ether? They can get into Misery Mire. Do they want to? They won't be able to finish without Cane of Samaria, but there's a potential to find 2 items in there.
That's true.
I mean, we're running thin on places for them to check. Lantern picked by Chrouya.
Well, since Chrouya has done Aghanim, and zer0rush actually hasn't. zer0rush is about to do so, because he's thinking, right, I really don't have access to anywhere right now, so I need to do this in order to get to the other locations on the map. Chrouya does have plenty of places still to check. I mean, even if you can't finish Palace of Darkness, so long as you get a small key in the first chest, you can actually keep going within there. But there is Catfish, of course, and neither of them have checked what Saharaslah has. Also, unfortunately,
zer0rush might be checking out Catfish now after fighting Aghanim, so same idea Chrouya had a minute ago. But maybe he'll check more than one item when he gets over there.
zer0rush's timer is no longer displaying everything fully. It's pronounced Saharaslah.
Oh boy.
Oh, you people are silly. We wouldn't have it any other way.
So once again, zer0rush has already finished Steve's Town, so we know Chrouya will be able to check all the items. We got the map in the big chest, so he'll be able to breathe a sigh of relief when he gets that beautiful, beautiful rupee drop from Blind.
Is it an overflow thing, Fiesel, or is it just that the display isn't going far enough up? Because I'm actually not sure. It just looks as if, with the way that half of the colon timer thingy is cut off on the left-hand side, it looks like it's just not been. Yeah. OBS layers are in the wrong order. Oh, right. So on his screen, he has, say, the game on top of it, or whichever way around. Right. Okay, I understand.
Well, I don't know what's the timer overflow.
Well, it's just so because he's gone over an hour at this point. If you have a look at his timer, then it doesn't actually display that 1 hour because he's got his layers wrong on OBS.
Oh, on zer0rush, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a joke about the.
Yeah.
I mean, Fiesel, feel free to just draw one and stick it on there on the restream.
Just MS Paint the one and then just put it over. Not even Photoshopping, just MS Paint.
Hey, I use MS Paint for everything. I use GIMP. Okay, so I use GIMP to make animations, and I use GIMP for transparency. Because for some reason, MS Paint, after being around for 20 years, hasn't figured out how to make transparency.
Yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only reason I got Paint.net is because I needed transparency on some of the stuff, and it just can't do it. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's
do all my work in MS Paint and then add the transparency with GIMP. GIMP looks so awesome, but the UI is way too intimidating for me.
I don't really do a whole lot of editing work and stuff that way. It's
7, I believe, for Chrouya.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and we should mark off Aghanim for both of these.
Oh right, yeah. I exist.
That exists. That exists. Half magic does not, but that does.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, I mean, half magic you can see right on the screen, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I know. Still.
I mean, I think half magic is more important than Cane of Burnout to know.
You're not entirely wrong, to be honest with you.
Alright.
Well, it looks like Catfish is now being checked. Like I said, a little bit of a shame that this wasn't checked earlier. This routing efficiency and whatnot, but hey, better checking it now than forgetting entirely.
Yep, so it's Catfish, and then we still have Misery Mire as an option for the runners.
So I'm still holding out that
we have one chest in Swamp Palace that might be the hammer.
I've actually had that happen before, so...
In our circle, we call that an Alucard seed. Because Alucard likes to check the one chest in Swamp.
I see, okay.
Yo, this is so intense. Oh, bow!
Okay.
Alright, so we can finish Eastern Palace now. Well, Chrouya... would have been a fan of him walking over to the entrance of Palace of Darkness and then mirroring the East Palace. And that way, if he finds the hammer in there, he'll be right where he wants to be.
Yes, but also...
Oh, I mean, maybe he will do that, but he's going to start from the spawn.
Yeah, because of the fact that they've killed Aghanim and they have the mirror, save quitting in the Dark World goes back to the start here. So we are going to see zer0rush do that, I think, but I do believe it's a bit quicker than Chrouya has done, because he has fewer screens to transition and you don't have to do stuff. It's just a bit better. Oh, we're not going to see zer0rush do that. Never mind then.
Yeah, looks like he's planning on fluting somewhere, but he can't decide. Or maybe he will go back to the Dark World and head over
to be honest, it is very easy to forget the save quit rules here, because...
Oh yeah, I just sort of refresher for the viewers. If you have killed Aghanim 1 and have the mirror, then save quit rules work like in vanilla. A Dark World save quit will send you to the pyramid. If you're in the Dark World and you save quit and you haven't met both of those conditions, killing Aghanim and having the mirror, then it'll act like a Light World save quit.
Yeah. The one exception is dying to Ganon will take you to the top of the pyramid no matter what.
Well, that's not a save quit though.
No, but it's still similar sort of thing, because death will be and such.
If you die in the overworld Dark World, like not a save quit but an actual death, will it send you to the pyramid regardless?
I can't remember. I don't actually, admittedly, remember the last time I died in Dark World Overworld.
Catfish has been checked, and Catfish has the bow. zer0rush and Chrouya both went over there. We should get.
Yeah.
Oops. There you got it.
So my idea of checking Catfish straight up would have been a little bit more effective here, because Chrouya had to come back to the dungeon here, and yeah, had he have just done that straight away, gotten to the Catfish, he could have cleared this in one shot. So...
Yeah, that brought zer0rush step with him a little bit, since this is his first visit to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, they're basically doing the same thing with the same items at this point. They've checked pretty much all of the same locations, so...
Yeah, but zer0rush has to clear the whole dungeon,
yeah, that's the only difference here, so... Definitely a time loss, but at the same time, it's not, like, neck and neck just yet.
I'm trying to think if one player even has an advantage over another in overworld locations, but I think they might have actually checked all the same stuff in the overworld even.
Yeah, I think that... Oh wow, that's a nice way of getting the one cycle there. Never seen that one before. Normally you have to alternate between left and right there and just try and shoot them whilst they're both coming down from the top of the screen. But
that's the way I've always seen it.
Yeah, but that's a really nice way of doing it. I imagine that was very, very close to not working though, with the way that was set up. Maybe just like a couple of frames later and it wouldn't have pulled off.
Yeah, so I think actually as far as these standings go in this race, what you see is what you get. I mean, I think they've checked the same overworld items and they're in the same dungeon, just Chrouya finished it slightly faster. Unfortunately, no hammer yet. We'll see if he dips in the pod. He'll be able to check every item except for the boss here.
I think the only difference might be that Chrouya has done Power of Hera, and I believe but there wasn't any advantage gained from that this time. But zer0rush doesn't know that, so he might well do that later anyway. Also, yeah, the the butter sword was actually in Eastern Palace, so
Yeah, which is a chest that many players will check earlier. So
yeah. So need to
call me a
mark that
masochist, but I would love to see Hammer and Meyer right now. And it looks like we did get that one from Feasel added in on the speed gaming stream. It's not on the commentary stream, but on the stream. Thank you, Feasel, for clarifying the timer.
That's pretty cool.
You know what? You're right, Patrick. Hammer and Swamp would be better than Hammer and Meyer.
Yeah,
they're both pretty trolly. I like them both.
I'd love to see it in Meyer.
Of course, at this point, there's a pretty high probability of it actually being in Palace of Darkness.
You'd like to hope so, but
I know Chrouya does. I gotta remember next time I do commentary to actually, you know, DM the runners and ask them how to pronounce their names, or DM, I guess they call it DM now for direct message.
yeah, direct messages. It's like the whole emoji thing instead of emoticons. It's just like, really.
Well, emoji is like a specific set of emoticons, I think. Oh, looks like that Armos is gonna reset his health.
I am not particularly good at trying to get a quick kill off of these guys myself, so
yeah, I always just try to remember which one I haven't hit yet and save him for last, because when you get to the last Armos and he enrages, he'll actually regain all his health. You'll have to shoot him with another 3 arrows, or whatever your weapon of choice is for fighting him. Crystal 5 going down for zer0rush. And no hammer yet for Chrouya.
This is good logic by both players, though, going straight from Eastern to Palace of Darkness. It's always
the one on the timer, how the font and the color.
Oh, there's the flippers.
Oh, there we go. Now they can finally get Fire Rod.
Yeah, so that just shows how...
Now that actually now allows the hammer to be in Swamp.
and Silver arrows. That's cool. Yeah, you know, that's a fair point. It could actually now be in Swamp. Oh dear. So, which one would you check first?
I think Swamp is faster. By the time you check, you know, by the time you even find the first item in Meyer, you've already, as I was saying, by the time you get like
preparation to get into both dungeons when you think
about
it.
Yeah, and then since they'll have to do Swamp, that's like twice. This, I don't know. Well, I guess I would check Swamp first, because that way I can at least finish it if it's in there.
Alright, so the only catch with that is what direction are you going to take to get there just now? Is a test of your knowledge a little bit. How are you going to get to Swamp Palace
probably mirror, Flute to 4, and then... Oh, no, I guess I got a Flute to the town. I got a Flute to... You know what? In that case, I'm checking Meyer first, I think. Having the walk...
Right, so here's another little interesting area. Yeah, that is basically the way round you would have to go for it, because you cannot go down from Palace of Darkness down through the Lake Hylia Ice Palace bit. There is no way of getting from there to Swamp Palace, so you would have to flute. As it looks like that might be what Chrouya is going to do.
Yeah, as you said. He changed his
maybe
mind.
not. Yeah, thinking, hang on, maybe it's better.
So immediately realizing... Check over here?
He's not going to Ice Palace now, is he?
I mean... It's possible. It's possible.
Are we gonna see the same thing happen as...
We're gonna see someone actually clear Ice Palace for a change, instead of just... jumping and skipping every chest.
If the hammer is in Ice Palace,
oh boy,
this is gonna be absolutely insane for zer0rush trying to get
There's
that.
really no good option here.
No, but I think Ice Palace is definitely the worst of the three. Because even if you do, you know,
I don't know,
if you
because
find a
Ice
hammer
Palace
here,
has
it's fine.
3 items. Ice Palace has 3 items. Swamp only has one possible chest to check. And Mire, but
Ice is so long. Even if you have to, even if you don't have to get any of the chests there, you're still gonna have to come back through here and do a bunch of stuff with it. It's just.
like I said, there really are no good options.
This dungeon is basically kind of slow to do twice, like really slow to do the first time, but if you have to come back round here again, that's gonna be a lot of time sink. So I honestly don't think, I do think this is the worst of the 3 options, but that doesn't mean it's the wrong option for this seed. That is always the important thing to note, is that it could be in here, however unlikely, it could be in here. So it may be correct in this particular seed to do, but I think statistically this has to be the best of the options, surely.
Yep, let's see which way zer0rush decides to go. Oh, good double kill.
So, I guess the other interesting thing to see here is what is the routing around this dungeon going to be? That's the other question to
Ice
ask.
Palace? I'm usually hoping to have a key once I go, like, upstairs from here. And
yeah,
he's gonna do
so
the bomb jump,
gonna...
which is weird. I don't like doing the bomb jump unless I'm going straight to the end.
So the bomb jump can be faster if you get a small key in the first couple. Oh, whoops. I've had that happen before. The bomb jump can be faster if you, as it seems like
he changed his mind.
No, the bomb jump can be faster if you get a small key in the first 2 chests, but otherwise it definitely does slow you down a little bit because you've got to go down the stairs and all the way back up again. It's okay if you can clear the dungeon as well.
zer0rush has to check Hera still, so,
yeah, so that's
definitely puts Chrouya a step ahead.
It's the logical place for him to go next. I'm kind of surprised.
You know what? Oh, never mind. I was thinking that just because the players don't have books, they can't check what's on the Master Sword pedestal, but it could still be something, but it can't be Hammer. It can't be Hammer because it's
I've actually had one of the seeds where that was an essential item for me. I didn't get the book until after I got that item. And it was Hookshot that was in there. Oh my
the
god,
payoff.
the gamble pays off. Okay.
Now he can finish his dungeon, but he's...
That is so lucky.
Yeah, I think he's in go mode now.
Unless right side of GT is required.
Oh yeah,
this has actually happened in a race as well. I think it happened in one of the weeklies at one point, where the same sort of situation here. Mire and Turtle Rock weren't needed, and Ganon's tower right side was required to get the big key. So we actually had to go back out of the tower to go find Kane Samaria in Swamp Palace. That wasn't necessary. So...
Of course, it could be the ultimate troll. You could be looking for it in every dungeon, and then it turns out to be a left side big key in Kane Samaria in the Moldorm chest.
Yep, that is possible. Wow, that is gotta be like heartbreaking for us if we're looking at it from zer0rush's perspective in the end, because I would be very surprised if it was there first. Maybe will, who knows? I might just have a wrong idea of it here, but that is an incredible place for it to end up.
I think Chrouya ends up scouring all the dungeons and getting all the dungeon chests, but doesn't check any more overworld locations until he's sure he needs the Cane of Samaria. And I mean, he's already gotten all the items from Palace of Darkness, and then he's finishing up here, and he may as well check all the items in Swamp as far as I'm concerned. zer0rush grabbing the blue pendant here.
Seeing the Starfurst doing his little jig there.
You know, maybe he's deciding to just Oh, he didn't get the chest up north. Did he grab
He
3
did
items
just
already?
find he did find a big key. That's what he was looking for since he didn't do the bomb jump. So he might be.
He's
He
another
might be
small key, I
thinking.
think. Oh, I just gotta redo this for him.
I guess, yeah, because he hasn't done the bomb jump. That's a fair point, actually.
But he's shown that he can do it. He got it on the first try.
Yeah,
But you
even
might want
then,
to route back around to check all the rest of the chests. There's one up here where the big key normally is, and then there's also the big chest itself.
oh, he's gonna he is gonna go for the bomb jump, but
He might have gotten 3 items already. I didn't really see.
I think it's. I mean, that's possible. Unlikely, but possible. I think what's
Actually, it's
gone-
impossible because there's 3 locations still. There's that one he just passed. There's the big chest, and then there's the
Map compass small key is possible in that combination. Gold stack can have
Is
a
there
small
another?
key.
Is there another small key in a chest in this one? I always forget which small keys are in chests and which ones are under pots.
So Ice Palace has got what? Is it 8
3.
chests or 9 chests?
Oh,
It's
it's got 3 majors.
yeah, I know it's got 3 major items, and then it's got at least 2 keys, but I can't remember if it's 8 or 9 chests it's in. So 2 keys in chests.
I'll tell you what, I'll look up a map and you go ahead and keep an eye on Misery Mire for zer0rush.
Yeah, that's true. Chrouya's got to be careful of the health. There's no magic powder at the moment, so only 2.5 hearts as well. No potions to back that up. But yeah, if you can do the bomb jump, then where he was there, it did make sense to sort of loop back round. That was the fastest way of looping around, I think.
I see 2 chests with small keys and Ice Palace.
Okay, yeah, that's what Mike said, and Mike the Viewer said in the chat as well, so that makes sense.
That's interesting because I just looked up the map at Mike's RPG Center. I wonder if it's the same Mike. Oh wait, is Mike the Viewer the same as Mike the V?
These are the questions we must ask for all eternity.
Not related.
Not
Well,
related.
'cause I think he is. I commentated his race, but I called him Mike the TV because I thought he was naming himself after the character. Because there's a character in Reboot named Mike the TV, and so I think my mind just went there. And I was corrected by several people immediately.
Whoops. So, Costa, given the magic increase here, just so cape strats are employable. Pretty good.
Yes. Dude, he's got Fire Rod and half magic.
Yeah, cape and gold sword is by far the best. Costa did have a small key, so
you were right.
I've had that one mess me up before when version 7 was fairly young, because I didn't have Cane of Samaria at the time, and I'd opened up every other key door in the dungeon, and at that time I wasn't capable of the bomb jump. So
it's Crystal 6 for Chrouya.
So because I couldn't do the bomb jump at that time, I actually had to leave the dungeon until I got Cane of Samaria, and then come back and do it later, because Cold Stare had a small key. So that was super irritating, as you can imagine. So yeah, now we're probably just gonna see. Well, you've actually got to go up the top first. That would help. But you've got to. You're probably just gonna see a really quick thing here and just hope that it's on the left-hand side of Ganon's tower for this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think he's checking all the chests in Swamp Palace while he's in there, and again, he's already checked all the Palace of Darkness ones, and he'll forgo checking overworld items until he's sure he needs it.
See, I don't think I would check the Swamp Palace ones myself, because as nice as the cane is, you don't actually need it for anything in the left-hand side. So if you don't end up needing it, it's a lot of time to think. Yeah.
Forgot to drain the water. So I can't through here. Something's missing.
Interesting chain of events of going there in the light world first without the dark world portal, and then going there in the dark world without flooding it first. Yeah. Yeah. No, I would honestly just just rush through this dungeon, because if it's a lot of time I'd get that one chest in the room with the waterfalls and whatnot, because that's in the way, you know. You
What
never
happened
know.
to this blue pendant? The zer0rush guy. I marked that off. See, in the cartoon, wisdom was green though. In the Legend of Zelda, absolutely canon. Everybody agrees to everything in that show. Wisdom, the Triforce of Wisdom was green.
And yet, in Link to the Past here, the wisdom one is red.
Wisdom's red in this? That's so
yeah,
weird.
It's wisdom.
I mean, it's not even consistent with Ocarina of Time.
Exactly.
And it's not even consistent with understanding of most color personalities. It's like
yeah,
actually,
wisdom is red, power is blue, and courage is still green. So
that's actually, I always imagine wisdom being green, and wisdom is green in Ocarina of Time and the Legend of Zelda cartoon. But you know, personality-wise, like the attributes of colors and things. I don't know, science.
Wait, I thought courage
but
was still
blue,
green. I thought
it
courage
should
was
be.
in Ocarina. What? Have I just misremembered this now?
Because the blue one is Nehru's love, right? Which correlates to courage, and the green one is Farore's wind, which correlates to wisdom, I think.
I always thought Nehru was wisdom.
Everyone seems to disagree with me, but
see, the reason I think the green one would be that is because the Kokiri Emerald is for the courage of going into the Deku Tree and stuff, right? You get that as a reward.
Nehru is wisdom?
Yeah.
Oh. My whole childhood is ruined. Hammer, by the way, Hammer was in Ice Palace. Hammer was in Ice Palace in the Ice Golem room.
Oh,
above the big
Bombos.
set.
Okay.
A completely unnecessary medallion. Unless, oh man, what if? Oh no, because you need Canis Samari to get into
unless you can do. Unless we
Okay.
secretly generated a glitched one here and you can do epic hovering, then yeah, no. So yeah, what do you do at this point if you're Zero?
I think I check Swamp and then Ice Palace.
Yeah. I mean, you will have to check it. You might well be looking at it for doing Swamp. He's just got to work out how to get there, because
looks like Chrouya is checking the west wing of the Swamp Palace, thinking, "Wow, I might need to find that Canis Samaria."
Yeah, I don't disagree with this play. I wouldn't be too surprised if it is in here.
zer0rush, check the bottle vendor. He's already gotten to the point where he's second guessing on which locations he's checked.
It's tough because you really don't want to go into Ice Palace without having the hammer.
Yeah, I personally use a tracker that has item locations and I check them off as I go.
Yeah, I did use Zabi's one, and then when I started racing on SRL, obviously you can't use SRAM trace, so it's like, well, I don't like manually updating trackers just because I prefer actually playing the game. So I just stopped using one.
There's very little downtime in Link to the Past too.
Exactly, and that especially with all the text being removed.
Yeah. There used to be in earlier versions, you'd get a crystal and then that would give you time to double check your tracker, but no longer.
Yeah.
Everyone knows yellow is stronger than red. That's why Hufflepuff always beats Gryffindor in Quidditch.
Ah, I see.
Everyone knows Team Instinct is the best.
Topical humor. If we were in summer of 2016, then at least topical humor.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I got tired of Pokemon Go taking the worst elements of video games and compounding them. Like, oh, you like RNG heavy, like artificial difficulty scaling? You like long unskippable cutscenes? You like unbalanceable PvP? Here you go. I think that's why Team Mystic kind of dropped off a little bit in our area, because like Team Mystic was smart enough to realize,
the
payoff
is in there.
But the possible payoff, we don't know if that's necessary yet, but that is a definite go mode for Chrouya.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
Alright, now we'll hear a word from our sponsor, Niantic. Uh-oh.
Hashtag sellout. Right, so...
Gryffindor. Everyone knows Ravenclaw's the objectively best house, though. I mean, come on. I honestly never really understood why Hermione was in Gryffindor over Ravenclaw. But I mean, I guess it's maybe like she's kind of brave too. I guess she's got traits for both houses. I'm sorry, I just cut you off.
No, it's fine. I was just seeing. I think we've just seen the first chest checked in Swamp Palace to obviously no avail. And you've really got to be thinking at this point, where the heck could I go with this? And really isn't a choice, unfortunately. But this is such a rough location for the hammer. Like I can't remember if I've seen this before. I think I have, but it's such a savage place for it to end up.
Savage. Yeah, I think he's still. Oh, he's obviously can't finish pod without a.
Nope.
Even so much as forgetting what was in the Lumberjack spot, which I think is a piece of heart.
So, I think it's just Palace of Darkness left for Chrouya now, huh? Having just finished Swamp Palace?
Yeah, I don't remember if Swamp was 3 or 4, but rest assured, he's got one pendant left. So, almost an insurmountable lead for Chrouya at this point.
Yeah, you've got to think that one risk is all that it would take. And yeah, this sort of, if you like, disaster seed is definitely possible to happen, but it's like...
It still looks like a sub 2 hours for Chrouya at least.
Oh yeah, because of that earlier Ice Palace risk, which it looks like that is finally what's going to happen for zer0rush here. Is thinking, well, there really is no other option here. I applaud that, because this is your last resort area. I still personally don't agree with it being the place that Chrouya went first, but that's the principle of it. As I said, it's not necessarily a wrong choice for this seed, and it turned out not to be. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean it is.
Because it's got 3 items, and because it's, it's easier to get to than Swamp. And, like, it's got 3 possible items, whereas Swamp's only got 1 possible item without Hammer. And it's a lot easier to get to than Swamp, and no one wants to go in the mire if they don't have to. Like, as much as people don't like going in the Ice Palace, I think.
But even then, like, okay, I can understand with the mire thing, but you pretty much don't have to finish that dungeon, because the only 2 items you're looking for, Hammer and Samaria, if you don't find Samaria, then you can't do mire fully anyway, so that's fine. But, with the way that it was set up, I would have liked to have seen at the very least go to Swamp, check that 1 item, then go to Ice Palace from there, because it's very easy to access from that direction. Yeah, zer0rush is really just going, I don't want to go in here right now. Let me out of here. Yeah, really, let me out of here. So, fortunately, he has to do it though. No.
He might have just thought of another spot he could check.
I hope so.
I can't think of it. Alright, so we're taking bets on Moldorm 2 chest. I'm gonna say it's book.
That's a pretty good one. I want to say a bottle. If it's not going to be the usual thing, which is a compass or a map, I'm going to say a bottle, actually. Because we haven't seen many of those yet.
Are we finally having a player go check the Saharaslah items? Is this the first time either player's gone this way?
It might be. Oh my goodness, it is. Okay, yeah, so I definitely don't agree with the Ice Palace then.
Yeah,
I actually...
I definitely agree with leaving Ice Palace.
Oh, there's the book. Well, you're already wrong.
Unfortunately, that just means zer0rush is gonna take extra time to check the pedestal before going into the Ice Palace.
Yeah, unfortunately so. Yeah, I mean, these are the sorts of gambles that if you take them and they pay off, then
that reminds me of that time in the Bible when King Josiah had like the palace wall knocked down and like they found the old scriptures behind the wall and they were renovating. That's like what happened there.
Pretty much. You just exploded the back wall of the house.
Here's the book. Here's the Bible, guys.
maybe it's secret. Maybe it's... If I can talk properly now. Maybe it's Sasha's secret smut novel there or something that we're just sort of using to translate everything.
Go to the Hassela's bathroom. Now he can properly go to swamp.
Oh, that's hard.
Rupee. Wow. zer0rush was so close to finding Hammer and then got detoured while Chrouya is on his way to Ganon's tower.
Yeah, I guess this is why they call it Bible Thump then, huh? The emote. Yeah, this must be incredibly frustrating. I mean, I would be getting really this one as well, but as I said, this is just one of those things that gamble and you actually get it right, then the payout is gigantic. But we could have, and much more easily, but we could have just as easily been sitting here going, well, he's just wasted like 6 minutes in this dungeon and he's gonna have to come back through it later and take another 3 or 4, you know.
Yeah. I wonder how this race would have gone because both of these runners have very similar styles in the item, you know, the item orders and locations they've checked. Really close, really not a lot of divergence until that Ice Palace. But a lot of other runners would have actually checked Saharaslah and Eastern Palace earlier. Would have gotten like gold sword would have gotten the gold sword in the book. So I wonder what a race between, you know, differing styles would have been like here, but we'll never know.
Yeah, we forgot to update the crystal. Oh well.
Nah, he got in with 6.
Right. Banned for using
after all the work he did finding that canister Mori, I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes straight in the right side.
There's the bug net. No powder though. Oh, it's net, not bug net. Okay, so I was like, wait, hang on a sec. Why is it not at the top of the track? Oh, that's right, because not bug net. Yeah, track it.
You can catch things besides bugs.
This is true. It's just in-game it is referred to as the bug net, so unless fairies are secretly insects. Although I guess if we're playing the GBA version...
Weird. Why do people go north against the conveyor belt there? I always go...
I have no idea.
I've seen many players do that. It seems more natural to go along with the conveyor belt. I'm pretty sure it's faster.
Yeah. Oh, the ice rod.
Ice rod. Now you can finish Dragon Town.
The
Turtle
race. The race. Dragon. The race I had yesterday.
Is that a brain fart? Pardon the cranial flatulence. Are they going for 100%? You know, sometimes it seems like that in a randomizer, but no, not quite.
The seed that I had in the race yesterday had silver arrows at Trinex. And unfortunately, Bent Glass Tube couldn't do Silverless, and Trinex was, Turtle Rock was Green Pendant, so... Ouch. So yeah, you've really got to be thinking, what on earth do I do now? Probably, eventually it'll go back to ice, but you've got to be thinking, there's no way it could be in there. It's such a crazy spot. There has to have been something else I've missed, right?
Yeah.
But
See,
when your back is against the wall and you've got no other options whatsoever...
Dash. Is that faster than dashing to the left?
I don't think it is, no.
He's double checking everything now.
Yeah.
Rather than moving, you know, he thinks it's more likely that he forgot something than that hammer would be in Ice Palace.
Speaking of progression stuff, looks like the big key was in the so-called rando room, the room that you have to bond to, and then the secret switch out of all of the cross tiles that you would never really know about unless you do Randomizer. Oh, that's a pretty neat way of doing that, without taking lots of damage and whatnot.
Yeah, I always kind of improvise every time I'm in that room, and I think I actually died in that room and had the fairy revive in my room.
Ouch!
I mean, it's really bad. Like, I set it up so badly that I had to use the boomerang to hit the switch behind his skull, and I thought it was really clever for doing it. And then I walked onto a spike and died. Oh, boys,
I suppose since
we're
we're
a little analysis paralysis here.
Yeah, I suppose since we're playing Zelda, it'd be more likely to be do, right?
Oh yeah, the sound effect of buying a key in the shop.
Well, also that, yeah, but I was more thinking the death thing in the game over one Korea time.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's Donkey Kong, right?
That was like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong combined.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh wait, Pac-Man is whoop whoop.
Oh dear. So where is zer0rush going now? Mr. Silver, that's why you usually use a fire rod in this room. I can understand not wanting to menu, but at the same time it's literally one transition in the menu, so when you've got a full bar of half magics, fire rod is definitely...
Yeah, I am really bad at aiming arrows, and so arrows lag up the game, especially in the ice room.
Yeah.
I cannot for the life of me land arrows on land mola either.
zer0rush managing to avoid the thief there. Being chased around half the town by that one. It was sort of a funny moment I remember in one of Christos's major glitches runs he was doing, where he was doing a bunny exploration glitch type thing with that, and had to make sure that he didn't get hit by anything so that he didn't softlock, and that one thief chased him like 3/4 of the way around the town, and it was just amazing to watch, because his reaction to it just...
The thief doesn't do damage though, does it?
No, but I think, I guess it would softlock just because that may just be in that really weird fake Dark World type state.
Maybe it's still considered damage, it's just 0 damage.
Yeah, that's true. I'm honestly not entirely sure how glitches that way work, because not really a speedrunner in this game, but...
Yeah, there's some actually some people seated pretty high in the tournament that aren't Zelda runners. They're just Zelda randomizer players. My friend Jet082 seeded 4th overall. Might have completed an NMG1 run once in like 135.
Yeah, Jet is super good.
Yeah, I actually know him in real life. Known him for about 15 years, and we used to work together in Philly, and we actually kind of struck up a conversation talking about Zelda games. So this is actually really cool.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that sort of connection to someone. So going back to check Palace Darkness, thinking I must have missed something in
Chrouya looking for that elusive final bottle.
He does have a blue
maybe hoping
potion.
for a Sankar. Maybe hoping
yeah, oh, that would be good. I didn't check how many pieces of heart he had, maybe... Oh! Even with the cape! Choldor strikes again, even with the cape!
I don't think the heart pieces show up on the menu since they had to make room for the pendants and crystals.
You can actually press select in order to see them in the dungeon. You can hold select down and it shows you your heart pieces.
Oh, is that a randomizer hack? Okay.
That's a menu thing. I think it might just be like the menu sort of, not updated per se, but the same sort of thing that gives you the Y button to alternate between the boomerang types and such. Similar
and
sort
actually,
of overhaul.
Before they made the composite view with the pendants and crystals all in one block, they used to actually use select to swap between pendant and crystal view.
Oh,
Why this room is without a doubt
the worst room in the game. I just cape through it because every time I try and not cape through it.
I cape through it once, and then for some reason the timing of using the cape and going up the stairs made me walk into a wall and unable
I've had that happen in Turtle Rock before. You need to use the cape again and
I didn't know that. I think I ended up just about forfeit at that point.
Whoops. So close and yet so far away.
And then I took a couple months off of randomizer, but it's good because now I'm fresh and ready to get back into the mix.
That was an amazing
he got like 4 hits in the second round.
So yeah, I've had that happen when I have tried to switch to a different item in the Turtle Rock room. That from the just after going back into the torch room that you have to go around and light them. Platform and stuff. When I'm coming back down from there, if I've been using the Pegasus boots and I item transition, go into the menu and switch items in the door transition, then that same glitch happens there. And yeah, the only way out of it.
Finally gonna bite the bullet and find the hammer and ice ballast.
Yeah, this is gonna be really disheartening when he sees that Chrouya is finishing with a really good time here too, actually. But I said that one risk is all that it really took. And that is not a risk that many players are going to be willing to take, so...
Where did the flippers turn out to be? Were they in Eastern Palace?
They were Palace of Darkness.
Or were they Palace of Darkness?
Outskirts of the Helmsorgan. Along with the Silver Arrows, I believe.
Alright, so then Aghanim was required.
Yes, because there was no way of actually...
unless you fake flippers to get hammer out of ice pouch, and imagine
that's actually true.
Oh,
God, the metagaming that could be done with that in this scene, that would have been really cool. But no
it's
chance.
So unlikely to be worthwhile that
I'll
never see it in a race.
No. Yeah, fake flippers are never be required by the seed, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't cheat progress out with it. So Chrouya has just finished with a time of 1 hour 48:02. GG.
You have ended the domination of Dr. Wily.
Looks like we have the Meme Force version 2 for this seed. Pretty fitting considering where the hammer was. So yes, we have just seen the cup of the hammer there. So mirroring back to the start of the dungeon so that you can just do the rest of it here. I'm guessing that he reckons it's all done now, pretty much. It's just a case of finishing everything off here.
Yep, he's still got 3 pendants to, or rather 3 crystals to gather, and might, like Chrouya, take a detour for Red Cane.
The catch, of course, being, you know, whether or not that's actually necessary, so... Which we know it isn't.
Yeah, but zer0rush does not.
Right, let's
But if he sees the dot, I don't know.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello there.
Hey, GG.
Yeah, GG.
How about that gamble on the hammer?
Well, I didn't really have that many options left. I checked a lot of dungeons. I felt like it should be in a dungeon somewhere because I don't know. It was either going to be the one at the swamp or maybe the ice palace, and that had like 3 chests. So
yeah, so you had basically 3 choices to go for there. I think there was, of course, Misery Mire because you could access that with Ether. There was that first chest in Swamp Palace, which don't sleep on that. I've actually had it be there before. And then there was Ice Palace. And I was saying at the time, whilst it might not be the worst one for this seed, as it turned out not to be, I figured Ice Palace would by far be the worst option to check here because it takes so long to go around, and you need Hammer to finish it. You need Hammer to get 2 chests out of there as well.
True, yeah, that was a gamble.
And if you had to come back into it later, and maybe Cane of Samaria would have been in one of those 2 chests that you're missing, then you'd be spending an awful lot of time trying to do it in the first place and an awful lot more time trying to go back through it afterwards. It really didn't feel like that was the first option for me, but it paid off in this seat.
Yeah, it worked out. Like, I thought at first, I didn't check the map well, so I thought that one of the Misery Mire or T-Rock was actually a crystal.
That's why you were still going for Samaria, okay?
Yes. Or, you know, there's the odds that you might have to do the right side of Ganon Tower.
Yeah. We've had that. So, I've had that happen in the race as well. Fantastic seed, like 1 hour 15 or something going into GT. Key was on the right-hand side. We hadn't had to do Misery Mire or Turtle Rock. Scramble back into the overworld to find the cane, and it was in. Ironically, it was in Swamp Palace as well. So
when I found the cane in Swamp, I was like, okay, finally.
Yeah, let's just go. That's exactly it.
I didn't really do that well in the gauntlet. I took a lot of hits, so I went pretty safe. Used the plot before
I noticed there was no magic powder in the scene.
Yeah, so there was no magic powder, and the bug catching net was in Ganon's Tower, so there was absolutely no chance you could catch Fairy.
Yep. I mean, there is that one just before Gauntlet you can bonk to, and there's 2 fairies in there.
Yeah, but I felt okay with the 2 potions I had.
Yep, I would too. If I was in your sort of position, I would have gone and got blue potions and stuff as well before going up, because my normal damage routine does account for taking the 2 fairies at the top of the powder.
Right.
So I would have been in the same spot. So yeah, other than that, it looks like a pretty good seed. The Fate Flippers gave a massive boost in this one, seeing how laid in the real flippers were.
And imagine fake flippers to Ice Palace would have been enormous.
I wasn't thinking about that, but when I did,
would anybody even bother?
So when I did Aghanim 1, and I saw what was it? Oh, I think it was a potion, green potion. I was like, oh no, I made the wrong decision. It's not Aghanim. So I was like thinking of other solutions, of other chests that I could go for.
Yeah, I was.
It appears that. So apparently the route was to go to like Palace of Darkness, I believe.
Full heart at the Master Sword.
Oh wait, no, it was the
Catfish.
The Catfish. Catfish
I was slightly disappointed he didn't go there straight up, because I was thinking, well, since there's no other way of you getting across to that side at the moment, that would be the logical place to go, is to go from Agate to Pyramid to Catfish, and then go from there. I think I did that in yesterday's my race yesterday, and then ended up getting flippers off of Zora and hookshot off the side. So, but yeah, going in that sort of direction when you don't have any other access to that place, there's something you've got to remember, that Aghanim isn't necessarily just for getting pyramid item or for the ability to get the Lumberjack one. Sometimes you really don't have another way of getting over to that side of the map.
Yeah, like most times I enter that pyramid when I'm a bunny. So then the only spot you can reach is that pyramid.
Unless the moon pearl is on there, and then apparently, from what I've been seeing, you can just drop down and it actually turns you back. So
yeah, dropping down turns you back into regular Link.
So that's kind of cool.
The odds that there's like an important item for Catfish is so low that it didn't cross my mind the first time I got there.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, other than that, it was...
I guess because at that point, after killing Aghanim, you have, Catfish and a few chests in Pod. So the few chests has the more weight than the one item, I guess.
Yeah, right. So, well, I guess it ended up all fine.
Yeah, no, that's a very respectable time for a seed like that. Like, it opened up really well at the start, and then that one item just... Oh, man.
I was just frantically looking for the flippers, really.
Yeah.
I wanted to do no Aghanim one. So I was thinking of, there might be some flippers here or there.
Yeah. Yeah, because as long as it would take, you can with flippers get to the east side of the Aqua.
Yeah. Either flippers or hammer would get you over there without having to Aghanim.
Right. Yeah. So, but unfortunately, everything was blocked off. So doing Aghanim was the only choice.
Sometimes you've just got to bite the bullet.
Yeah. Chrouya, did you check the 3 items behind the bombable wall in Saharaslah hut? Because zer0rush checked them really late. We don't remember you checking them at all.
I think I checked them. Like I'm
you know
not
what?
sure.
You didn't. You would have Book of Medora because Book of Medora was back there. So you didn't.
Okay, so yeah, no.
I got him.
So I kind of played like a practice run right before this, and then I went there straight after doing the fake flippers. But I think it's because I got the flute so early.
Yeah.
So after the fake flippers hobo, I probably went directly to the mountain and completely forgot about Saharaslah. So
yeah.
Oh well. Thank God there's nothing behind the tablets.
Yeah, because we would have had a sea house situation.
I don't want to lose against to the ether tablet like last time.
No. 27 bucks, not too bad. Looking at the just looking at the menu stuff now.
You could have gotten more than that, honestly.
You screen transition one too many times though. 667 screen transitions.
Oh.
Too bad. Restart.
No, this time I'll check Saharaslah.
Definitely nice for speed purposes having pendants at both Maya and Turtle Rock though. One of the best situations.
The only thing is I totally forgot, so I was constantly wondering, okay, which magic do I need to open those things? Because I didn't check Turtle Rock. Because when I checked the map for the first time, I noticed it was a pendant, but apparently I totally forgot about it. So,
whoops.
So I was like, I might need something like Bombos, but then, after Swamp, we got all the 3 magics, so...
Yeah.
And then, just after Swamp, I just did another check, do I really need to do Mire or T-Rocks? Okay, just finish up that Palace of Darkness, because I went through that one time, and I know my mind's like, okay, I already finished it. Because when I look at my tracker, I have all the chests open, so they think already I have it finished.
Yeah, I must have got the crystal too, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It is very easy to forget stuff like that.
zer0rush having already checked the chest behind the bombable wall here, hoping to find hammer earlier.
Yeah, like I said, that has actually happened to me. That particular chest having the hammer. So, no, he actually hasn't opened it. He's just rushing now. I guess he's hoping.
I guess he's in boss rush mode, but
Mm,
he might think to try to look for Cane of Samaria. He doesn't need it, but he doesn't know that he doesn't need it.
yeah, because that was the one frustrating thing. I think we mentioned it before, even in the interview stuff here. It was the one frustrating thing about one of the first race seeds that I did last month was not needing the Cane of Samaria to finish the game, and then needing it for Ganon's Tower, and it was nowhere to be found. It's just frustrating, but no, fantastic race though, definitely. You guys were really level for a lot of the time, and then I think it just came down to which dungeon was decided on first, and that can happen quite a bit in a lot of these races.
Yeah, even all the overworld routing. I mean, you have the same overworld routing strats, almost identical.
Yeah, about the only thing that you had on Zero
Even
for a
down
while.
to both skipping Saharaslah hut.
Yes, even down to that. The only thing you had on him for a bit was the Tower of Hera, but that didn't turn out to be anything, so...
Yeah, so I just took a gamble and well, I lost on that, I guess. I got a hard
Say goodbye to
container with
Cane
it,
of
so.
Samaria, guys.
So, do you think we're going to see some boomerang strats in GT instead of where you would normally use the Cane of Samaria on left side then?
You might.
Or do you think we're going to see the bomb?
A lot of the NMG runners prefer the blue one, the bloomerang.
Yeah, as I always call it as well.
But maybe, were you commentating last night at midnight?
No, I was not.
So I heard someone say bloomerang last night. I was working on the next version of my tracker, so I set it on the background. But I definitely heard someone say bloomerang.
No, I don't know if that... I'm not really unique in calling it that, to be totally honest, but...
Maybe
yeah,
maybe you can throw the red boomerang into the waterfall fairy pound and upgrade it to the blue one.
Yep, upgraded, yeah.
I actually like the red one better. I'm in a minority though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly like either of them, to be honest with you, but at the same time, the only reason I don't like the blue one is because it goes like 0 distance, and the red one lags the game, so I don't like it because of that. So, you know, not really a fan of either, but the blue one does kind of a bit better.
Fiesel.
Oh.
Shoutouts to Fiesel for incrementing the hour on the time.
Okay, so zer0rush hasn't got his layers quite set right in his OBS, so his timer is cut off on the hour point, like the hour and then half of the semicolon before.
Oh,
so we joked to Fiesel that when we were sort of talking that he should MS Paint a 1 over the top of it, and so
Fiesel started it. Fiesel said it's the timer glitch allowed in this category.
And yeah, so we were like, you should MS Paint a 1 over the top of that, and so he did. And so now he's MS Painted a 2 over the top of it.
If you're wondering why the color and the font don't match.
Because he's just painted a 2 over the top of it on the stream. Yeah, we've had quite a bit of fun on this one, so thank you very much for the entertaining race. Let's just have to see how easily the GT stuff goes. I guess it wasn't really too bad. I guess the rando room, the bombable ball bit, was where the big key was, right? So big key wasn't past the Armor's Knights or anything stupid like that. So
I'm excited that we're gonna see some different Wizrobe strats for the second floor.
Yeah, that's true, because no Cane of Samaria, so
Yeah, I tried. The second room went so bad for some reason.
yeah, so it went bad for me yesterday as well. Don't worry about it.
So it's like, I got the cane for this reason, and then I screw up.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I might as well just skip this cane.
I get that strat 95% of the time, and then yesterday's race, of course, I didn't get it. So, you know, Same with the Ice Palace bomb jump. I get that 80 to 90% of the time, and then I failed it twice in the freaking thing. That was heartbreaking seeing that firebar drop, by the way. Oh god.
So I the first time I tried to bomb jump and I was like, no, you know what? This is my first run, so I shouldn't bomb jump, so I can get all the chests. And I don't know, I was I think fairly low HP, so didn't want to risk dying. The second time I was still going around.
Yeah, you be slightly lower this stuff that way. Yeah, so there are fancy ways that you can do it, especially when you've got the hookshot already. If you get a small key in one of the first two chests, there are fancy ways where that bomb jump actually works, and to save time. But it kind of relies on getting the small key early so that you can open, so that you can actually open one of the locked doors. If you've got a hookshot as well, there is a second bomb jump you can do over the room above the big key that lets you get to that one chest.
Oh right, yeah, that's a really precise bomb jump.
It's a bit tricky to set up, yeah, but there is one you can do with that, and that lets you get the chest with the 2 jellyfish, and you have to push to step on the switch for, and you can still go all the way around. But most of the time, what you would do if you got the key, say in that first chest and on the top floor.
I'm not really sure. zer0rush bonked off the wall to jump over that hole, and then just like walked across on the way back. Like, oh yeah, I can just walk here. Unless he was bonking to avoid the fire bars. And we got bomb strats here, just make sure he doesn't get the double hit on the crystal.
Yep. So yeah, there's a way that if you basically with that crossword where the spike trap is, you can use that locked door in order to get the stuff with the bomb jump, but the catch then is that you're missing that one chest with the 2 jellyfish and the push switch. So
right.
Just gotta be mindful about that.
There's variation in the crystal peg room there. Normally you'd see players hit the crystal with a hook shot and take the iframes from the peg. zer0rush actually used the bomb. I guess he already had the bombs equipped.
Yeah.
He's losing time on waiting for the bomb fuse, whereas
unfortunately,
he's gonna have to swap the hook shot anyway for the next room.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just showing off his versatility.
I mean, why not when you're in this position? There we go. Last possible chest in that room.
But for some reason, I always get walled because of that hammer.
And he does have a small key to proceed. He'll have to remember to kill the mini Helmasaur to get the extra key.
Yeah. It's okay, the hook shot seems to be the semi-kryptonite of my runs at the moment, so... Oops. To make sure you don't take too many hits off of that.
Yeah, this room is my bane.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
The spiky crystal room.
So now I'm wondering where the other shields were. Because we found Babby Shield and nothing else. So... wondering where the rest of them ended up.
Did you call it Babby Shield?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's a little Babby. What else do you want me to say?
I just think it's funny, like, that people say Babby. I always feel like it's a shout out to Super Metroid. But I guess it's that old meme about like how to form Babby or whatever.
How is Babby formed?
How is Babby? But that question we will not be able to answer on gaming.
Yeah.
So go ask mom and dad.
About the flutes and the bees. And the bee tours even. So not going to take the room here, despite not having the powder as well. Not going to take the refresh room here. Actually not overly sure on that. What would you do in this situation? If you were about half of your health here as zer0rush was, would you take that refresh room since you don't have powder? Or would you just keep going?
I'd probably keep going.
Okay.
I think I feel kind of I don't know, I don't think I will lose that many hearts during the gauntlet. Although I did get to like 3 HP by the end.
So details, right?
Normally I wouldn't lose that much health, but happen this time. I'll probably take the risk and just play a little bit safer if I do get low HP. Like, I did skip some hearts, even though I was at low HP.
Yeah, so the other thing I'm noticing is a distinct lack of fire rod here. And maybe it's just me being biased because it's my favorite weapon in the game, but...
This Stalfo's not playing nice either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just playing with
Are they
arrows.
Stalfoses? Or are they like mini, like, I call them Stalchilds. Because like the Stalfos Knights are the ones with the shield that drop down from the ceiling.
Yeah, in Ocarina of Time they're Stalchilds. I think they're mini Stalfos in this game. But then again, this game also calls the Chews Buzzblobs, so, you know. And the green
Oh, the green guys.
And
the guys that you can powder to turn into the guy that looks like me.
And likes are pickets, apparently, so, you know.
Well,
Logical
it seems
question.
that his Lamola's fight is going as well as mine.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I kind of missed the timing on the first arrow, so it kind of shook me off, and then due to the lag, I think I shot the wrong way.
I don't think he knows where the floor is. He's gonna use Ether. I think Ether will straight out kill these guys, though, won't it?
Nope.
Oh, it does nothing. But it'll reveal the floor.
Oh,
But
okay,
that's
never
just-
mind. Never mind, they hadn't appeared at the time, so it was slightly too early on the timing.
So that's where the tiles are in that room, huh?
Yep. Yeah, Bombos also kills them, but Bombos' cast speed is a bit slower, so...
Yeah, it costs more MP as well.
Yeah, it does.
Even though he's got plenty.
That seems to be the logic of this game, is that ice is cheaper than fire because it's usually bad. Except against the Lamola, because and bosses in general, it does the same amount of damage as the fire rod, so, you know.
Can you use Ice Rod on Mothula?
Don't believe so. But admittedly, I've never actually tried, so...
I was so close to dying in the
Yeah,
Mothula fight.
I noticed that, wasn't it? Was it you or zer0rush that was using the fire
I think
to
it was
do most of it?
zer0rush,
I think it was, yeah, zer0rush had
zer0rush used his green potion, and right, because Chrouya had half magic the whole time going.
Yeah, that's true, and
Or no, zer0rush had half magic when he actually came back to fight.
Yeah, he had to come back. Because, he actually did have just enough magic, but he only had 3 casts and not 4. So he didn't think he had enough magic to light the torches. You actually do, so long as you light both of the middle torches in one fire rod shot. So,
Right.
He ended up coming back out. Oh, same using the cape strats here. Hopefully not. Also, going to fall off. Okay,
Yeah,
not to put you on the spot or anything, but
in
it is
case,
still
in
kind
case
of
you forgot,
amusing.
Chrouya,
Yeah, my whole Ganon style was kind of garbage.
It's okay, mine was
5
pretty bad yesterday.
rupees from Voldorm's chest.
Yeah, so I hit the head while I was in the corner, and I was like, oh no. Like, I hope to not fall into spikes, because that would even, like, freak me out even more.
Yeah, because you were really, really low on health at that point.
I should have just dashed.
Yeah, although you do need to be... Well, I mean, when you've got the cape out, dashing is fine. You've got to be careful with without dashing there, because
Looks like that double hit didn't register.
Yeah.
Your Aga 2 fight was...
that was
a
something
marvel.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, that like, was all, I don't know. I saved up all my luck and skill for that fight.
I swear if you could have gotten 4 hits on that second round, you would have gotten 4 hits in 1 round.
The sword just secretly duplicates one of the fireballs. I suppose they're not really fireballs, but... Again, details, right?
What a fun mechanic.
Whoa.
I hope they use it in other Zelda games from here on out.
Okay, that diagonal shot across the screen was amazing. Just gotta say, no matter what the rest of this fight was like, that one diagonal shot going across the entire scope of the battlefield was fantastic.
How come nobody's... Okay, you know how Mario's got a tennis game? How come Link doesn't have a tennis game?
I mean, that's because he spends too much time doing it every single one of his games, so he doesn't need a standalone version. Mario doesn't play tennis in his regular games, so that's why.
I guess. But it's also like with like Sonic Pinball or Sonic Spinball or Kirby Pinball. It's like,
oh god,
there's
yeah.
like, they're already glorified pinball games. Why not just make a pinball game out? Well, not so much Kirby, but he
Yeah,
does
I was
have the
gonna
ball
say
power up.
Kirby's not that much machine. But... Link does have a tennis game. It's just buried inside the Legend of Zelda game.
Someone should just make a fan game that's every tennis match from every Zelda game.
God. You'd be there for like 5 hours.
Dude, the Forest Temple boss.
Yeah.
So that it takes.
God, can you imagine that as the one from Four Souls Adventures? Because that's color-coded tennis. How long it would take for for average people to sort of cooperate enough to do that? Good lord.
I haven't finished that game. I played a little bit with Jet, but we didn't. He probably finished it on his own, but
It's pretty fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Alright, so just the Ganon fight to finish off here. Plenty of health.
Let's update this tracker. We got Crystal 3, Bug Net. He did not. Did he grab the ice shot? He probably got the ice
Yes,
shot.
he
Let's
got the
mark
ice
that
shot.
off.
Ice Rock was in the way, so...
Oh, we're working against each other here.
I'm actually not doing any of it, so... it's not me.
Maybe I guess I misclicked then.
Either that or maybe Vsauce looking onto that as well.
Pretty sure he skipped Bombus and Samaria in the swamp. Okay.
Oh, nice hit with the fire rod to get the torch glitch there. Oops, unfortunately missing the arrow now. It's a pretty good place for Ganon to start teleporting to when you're using the fire rod. He's gotta be careful with his health though. Oh no! The fire bat! Curse you!
Oh boy.
Oh, curse you, weird knockback. Yeah, I would bonk into the wall out of frustration as well, although that was probably just not actually realizing where the floor was because the camera is annoying in that room. Ah, frustrations abound. As that one weird enemy gives 8 bombs at the end just to be like, hey, do you need bombs against Ganon, right?
I was so much searching for bombs. Like during Escape, I was like looking for bombs.
Yeah, zer0rush got an 8 bomb drop pretty early and took a long time for you to get yours.
Like nothing drops anything. Like
yeah, it's always annoying when that happens, and then you get that one seed where the prize pool from the guards is like 1 bomb, 4 bomb, 8 bomb, and it's just why can't this be in every seed? But if it was in every seed, then the logic would more likely require you to actually get those items and potentially mess everything up. So I don't know. Oh.
That doesn't consider him.
I don't think I've ever had like one
I think that
important item there.
I've had plenty, but
I'm pretty sure the logic is programmed so that it requires, like in the seeding, it requires glove for those 3 items.
Yeah, I think you're mentioning that at the start as well, and it would make sense if it did, because otherwise you could oh no! Oh, I just heard the fall off thing there, and it's just like, oh, heartbreaking. And I don't think he has another health potion here, so he may well just take the fairy in the tree first. Nope. going in with the health he's got. I mean, 9 health is fine, but... I don't think you would want to forfeit even at this stage, because that 6-hour time penalty is really big if it comes to tie breaks for you to get through.
Actually, I'm pretty sure tie breaks are determined by a tiebreaker race. That's what the challenge page says. For the tournament, which makes sense because I would really prefer it not to be average time. I mean, seeding it's okay because it's not as important as tiebreakers, but with tiebreakers going by average time, I mean, you could just get 4 bad seeds and
yeah, I mean, this is true. It would be better for in that sense. So I wonder how that would work in my group if it turns out that we all end up going 2-1. Because right now it's sort of looking like that's possible. I didn't actually see the result between DJT for Heart and Wild Anaconda yesterday, but it's assuming that Wild won that game. It's very possible we all, 3 of us get to 2-1 in that group. Technically 3-1 because one of our 5 dropped out because of power outages and storms and whatnot, but yeah, it's very possible that we'll have a 3-way tie in terms of the scoring, and each one of us will have beaten every other one. Like, Tifa beat me. If I beat Wild to create this 2-1 thing, Wild beats Tifa. Everybody has played everybody else. Oh, the death is over. Yikes!
So this is the text directly from the challenge page for the. If you type !ALTTP, you should get a link to this page, I think. But under round robin format, the 4th point says race ties and standing ties will be decided by another tiebreaker match, which is probably the most fair way to do it. I think that if you were to do like the best differential from your losses, might be a good way to do it. zer0rush stopped his timer. Did he forfeit?
Oh dear. It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, zer0rush officially forfeits on the SRL type .forfeit, so GG.
It's unfortunate, but I can understand the frustration after already being of just over half an hour, after the other player, to then fail Ganon twice as well. I can understand the frustration. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's tough. It's a little heartbreaking.
Regardless, though, it was a fantastic race as we went through, so well done to both of you. Congrats again on your win, Chrouya. However, we should probably actually say, whilst you're here, since Crossbow has been wondering the whole time, how exactly is it you want your name pronounced?
So it's actually something like Chrouya. Like, think of it as like crow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I was kind of close.
I was misled by chat. I think the beginning part, the crow sounds kind of Greek, but then the Ouya part seems more Asian, so I didn't really know how to combine the two.
It's kind of like I picked the worst nickname ever.
Don't worry about it.
It's kind of like it's kind of a joke on my stream. So every time I get like commentary or something, everyone speaks my nickname different, but it's all right. I accept everything.
At the very least, you don't get mistaken as Game of Cat in any chat that you go to, because that happens quite a lot with me, because people just misread the L as a T, and it's just, I get referred to as a cat quite often, and definitely not feline, so, yes. Right, well, what have we got coming up next then?
I think 3 o'clock Eastern time is the next Zelda race. Or if Speed Gaming or Speedruns Live has anything between now and then.
I'm sure Fiesel will be able to tell us in the chat if there is.
Anyway, I'm heading off, so thanks for the commentary.
Thanks for the interview.
And,
thanks for the run.
I'll be back in 2 days, I believe.
Make sure you give these runners a follow.
Yeah, best of luck in your next race.
Thank you.
And in order to stay up on all of the races for the tournament, make sure you give a channel to Speedruns Live, as well as Speed Gaming right here. And we also have Speed Gaming 2
Yeah, there
Same
are so
as-
many races that are going on at the moment that it does take a lot of channels
Yeah,
to do.
we have-
So, yeah,
Alright.
I'm going to sign off as well then. Thank you very much for the commentary, Dev. We had, thank you for the good time as well, Cross. And hopefully we get to do this again at some point because that was very entertaining.
Cheers.
Alright, so one last time, that was Gamer Callan, I am Cross Product, and we'll see you back here in a couple hours for the next Zelda race. Thank you all for getting up early to watch, and have a great day.